All right, in this lesson, we're going to be solving radical inequalities. And the steps to solve radical inequalities is the same. It's the same as solving radical equations. However, the solutions for inequalities are intervals of values. So we're going to have to do a check at the end to determine what intervals satisfy the inequality and which ones don't. So example 1, first thing we want to do is set 4x plus 5 greater than or equal to 0. And we determine that x has to be greater than or equal to negative 5 fourths. Then we're going to square both sides of the inequality. That's going to give us 4x plus 5 is less than or equal to 100. Subtract 5 from both sides. And then divide both sides by 4. We get x is less than or equal to 95 over 4. So x has to be greater than or equal to negative 5 fourths, and it has to be less than or equal to 95 over 4. If we were to test values that are smaller than negative 5 fourths, we would see that, like negative 2, we see that that value does not give us a true sentence. When we plug in values between negative 5 fourths and 95 over 4, you will see that those do give us a true sentence, like 0. And if we plug in a value that's greater than 95 over 4, like 25, it does not give us a true sentence. So that interval does not contain solution values. So our interval is going to go from negative 5 fourths, including the negative 5 fourths, since it's greater than or equal to negative 5 fourths. And then that's going to go all the way to 95 over 4, including the 95 over 4, because there's a bar up under that inequality. In the next example, again, we want to set the radicand greater than or equal to 0. We determine that x must be greater than or equal to negative 5 thirds. And then we're going to square both sides. First thing we're going to do is add 3 to both sides. And then we're going to square both sides of the inequality. It's going to give us 3x plus 5 is less than or equal to 100. Subtract 5 and then divide by 3. We get x is less than or equal to 95 over 3. So x needs to be less than 95 over 3 and greater than negative 5 thirds. We want to test out some values. If we plugged in a value less than negative 5 thirds, like negative 5, you see that it does not satisfy, does not give us a true sentence. If we plug in a value between negative 5 thirds and 95 over 3, like 0, it does give us a true sentence. And if we plugged in a value that is greater than 95 over 3, like 40, we see that it does not give us a true sentence. So our interval for the solution is going to go from negative 5 thirds to, including the negative 5 thirds, since there's a bar under the inequality, all the way to 95 over 3, including the 95 over 3, since there's a bar under that inequality also.